The caravan master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jaws quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods towards a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the caravan master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards, unless you don't drink water, course, in which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry, about the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Udema looks over his shoulder at his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparfel, who carries an old sun-bleached bow. He nods in your direction. Sparfel nods and slides the worn bow over his shoulder. Where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
What are those ruins?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pond, so I hear.
Who did build the ruins?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Is it dangerous out here?
Not if you hurry about your business, and not if the weather holds up.
There is a concern in his tone, but he does not elaborate. What kind of weather do they get out here?
This time of year? Rain, mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beawick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never care to.
What are these huge rocks coming up out of the ground?
They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
Okay, I'll go see about those berries then.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's night sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own time. She needs to find some springberries. Watch that she doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her, you're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Yes.
Your voice sounds familiar. Let's see, with tab we can light up everything.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
Nope, not yet.
It's no trouble. It can't be helped.
Look, piece of grade 1, part of no, wait. Can you try it? No. It's difficulty 1.
Yes.
So as I understand, I can use my mechanics.
I suppose it can't be helped.
Yes.
There you go.
Unlocked. These tall glass green pillars appear as if they have sprouted from the earth. The flickering fire sets shadows dancing within. Well, I was looking for minimap for a while, and I seem to have a problem. The fallen tree doesn't budge, sap oozes from the jagged wound
Not
in
looking
its
forward
trunk.
to trying to lift that thing tomorrow.
Do we have a minimap by any chance? We have a map. Okay, we'll make it work. What's that? Party AI. Okay, I'll leave it on.
With Pillars of Eternity, we strive with every level to both evoke the essence of the beloved Infinity Engine games, as well as introduce something new and engaging for players to experience in the world of Aora. The Caravan encampment was no exception to this goal. As the introduction area and the first impression of Aora has to offer, it really needed to speak to the player from the get-go. Keeping in mind this principle, we needed to begin the game with an image that instilled simultaneously the feeling of adventure players may be familiar with from a Dungeons & Dragons setting, while introducing them to our own unique world. The idea of a caravan huddled around a flickering campfire both seemed familiar and befitting as the humble beginnings to a grand adventure. By setting the scene before a large ancient ruin with peculiar stone-like objects growing from the ground, we felt this would introduce them to some of the key landmarks of the Deerwood. Another principle in our design was non-linearity. Pillars of Eternity is a game about choice and consequence. We didn't want our introduction to feel like an entirely guided experience, so we opted to keep the flow of the level pretty open to exploration. Once the player has finished speaking with Odema, they are free to wander around the immediate area and examine their surroundings, even find clues that foreshadow their inevitable ambush, a situation that very quickly teaches the player the concept of consequence in our world.
Please let me know if you would like for me to keep those commentary from the developers in, or to scrap them. The corpse is cold to the touch, and a ripe smell wafts from it in putrid waves. A dark, crusted bloodstain besmirches its simple linen clothing. I think I'll disable it for now, just so it does not interrupt the flow anymore. Maybe if you want to play the game for yourself, you can enable the developer's commentary. I find it interesting to find. Glad you already started talking. Okay, let's see what about the party AI we have there.
Yes.
But as I can see,
This is it.
I heard you're kind of a spiritual sort. I get my visions from time to time that guide my way. Yeah, how is it you happen to come here? I had a vision that sent me here. You've got a lot on your mind then. Hopefully things work out in the end. But in my experience, they don't always. Kaliska breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Redrick's offer makes a girl think. I'll give him that. You here to settle, like the rest of the lot? I hadn't given it much thought. No harm in that. Might as well see the place first. So you must have some other plan in mind for coming this way. I have no idea what I'm going to do next. Completely spontaneous, huh? Interesting. Well, there's probably no hurry to make up your mind. They've got an inn in Gilded Vale that will put you up as long as you need. Or so my sister tells me. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Odema will give me an earful. Let's be on our way. Why are you here? Kaliska sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried. But that's how she always is. This time though, she asked me to come out. And that's got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Ixamit. But I'll do anything for her. She's a much better woman than me. So I'm here and we'll see. Odema I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive our route this way, but he's doing it for me. Tell me about yourself. I've got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders too. We started in Durwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. I've got a brother in Rautai and another in Ader. My sister in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. What can you tell me about Durwood? I'm not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be a part of the Ader Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kind of things about it lately. People having trouble giving births, I guess. A lot of them. Been going on for years now. But somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister about it. Alright, let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfel's getting new water anytime soon. He does what he feels like, when he feels like it. We should check up on him first, slap him around a little. Stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get you your water. Nope. Okay, fast mode, slow mode. Wait, the normal mode, thank you. Wait, wasn't that him? The corpse is cold to touch and a ripe smell wafts from its protected waves. No, I don't think it's him. How big is this place? Quiet, let's go on the other side.
What a surprise. Sparfel went hunting. At least he left the water skin.
You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Kaliska waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. You've gotten an item. Full water skin. Out of the trees emerges Sparfel, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there is a strangeness to his gait, his stride wobbly as he moves towards you with labored breath.
Sparfel, are you alright?
Sparfel's toe catches in a rock, and he collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag.
ambush!
Okay, you go hit him, I'll hit him. And... how can I use this?
Sir.
No, go hit him. Ah, now I can use it. Oh.
Come on, we have to get back to camp.
And it disappears right when the fight ends as well. Let's go hit him. All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bag-eyed and filthy. Kaliska puts the back of her left hand to her mouth, as if to ward away some poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stands above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering and severe, with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Hyodan, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life, or a fight you will lose. We have not trespassed, we merely wish to pass through. Your words carry no weight when I have seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. So I say again, lay down your arms. Don't trust them, they mean to kill us all. Judging by the string of animal teeth around your neck, I am guessing you are worshippers of Galvali. If Galvain told you to stop protecting the ruins, would you? The man frowns and motions as if to swing his axe. Heodan winces, but the blow never comes. Instead, the man cocks his head, intrigued. Of course, but he would not. It is by the command of all the gods that we accept this charge. How do you know? Because it's consistent with their beliefs, or because it's what you were told? The man glares. It has always been known to my people. I see. And what of Galavain's edict that weakness and age must be purged by youth and strength? You think Galavain would want some moldy, crumbling stone to survive long after the builders have turned to dust? The man's nostrils flare as he fumes. He would not. He told us otherwise. I'm sure he did, just not you, personally. But you should that stop you from killing innocents. Distracted, the man's grip falters on his axe handle, and he nearly fumbles it, affording Hyodan the moment he needs to dodge out of his swing, which comes too late. Howling with rage, the man charges you instead.
Yes?
Hey, come on, go help him. Knock him down, please.
I'm here.
Your enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to rise. His companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fistful gasps. He looks not at you, but at the sky above you. Forgive us. Barely audible beneath his choked sighs, a whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them. Good, good, the gods are just. A queer smile crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, appending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin, and where it pierces you, it feels as though it is rending you apart from within. Seated against the awaken wheel amidst the howling maelstrom, slashed across chest and bowel, Lemon's body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head, his eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
Straining against the gale that threatens to pull you off of your feet with every step, you set your hands in the worn folds of weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. With a last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Hyodan trails behind, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers, who had been feigning death, lunges for Hyodan and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Hyodan lashes out against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They are close to you. Despite the wind, from your position, if you were to throw your weapon at the attacker, you would have a good chance at hitting your mark. Grab a rock. Your aim is true, and the hit jars Hyodan loose. Lurching to his feet, Hyodan clambers up the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving out onto the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull with waning strength, but it feels as though your arms will be jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Hyodan to set his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There is a deep resonance to the swelling wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight.
Was that?
A Bewick. Had to be.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside.
Okay, and I think this is a fairly good place to end this part. So for now, thank you very much. Stay alive and see you soon. Bye.